Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide, and today we are taking a look at an old friend, in this case Remarkable 2, and we're looking at the whole Remarkable platform because it has received several smaller updates, but now they are kind of cumulatively all good, condensing to a more meaningful package that is definitely worth visiting. So in this video we are going to be checking out updates or what has been brought new to the Remarkable platform in updates 3.23, 0.24 and now 0.25. And here we are with the overview of the release 3.25, which lists a couple of things here. But I gotta kind of put up something here, and that is that on my Remarkable Move Paper Pro Move, the latest update was 3.24, and it too lists convert to notebook on a device and some of the things. While when you go to the release pages here on their website, it says 3.25, it matches what we see here, but then it says the release 3.24, tags changes and auto scroll with selections and other improvements, which indeed is listed on the Paper Pro Move, but so is the notebook, convert to notebook kind of thing. So, and oh, there it is on 3.23. Convert to notebook. So just for clarity's sake, update 3.23 added two things. Convert to notebook, convert Word files to notebook, but that was only possible to be done, as I mentioned, via their website. And the other thing was create a link, which allowed you to create a shareable link of your notebook that will basically make it as an accessible web page to anyone with the link. So that's 3.23. Now we move to 3.24, where you have addition of tag changes, where it's now possible to add tags while you're creating a new folder, which is a great organizational change because oftentimes when you're basically adding or modifying things, you need the ability to expand your organizational methods such as tags on the fly and not kind of cancel the operation and start doing that. We'll check all of this stuff on the Remarkable 2. I just wanted to go through the release notes here because I have them on the Paper Pro Move. Confusingly, 3.24 on the Paper Pro Move now indicates that convert to notebook on myremarkable.com and create a link is a part of the update 3.24, which is listed that is an addition on update 3.23. So some kind of strange messy stuff is going on between 3.23, 24 and 25, which is unusual. Normally this stuff is kind of really buttoned up and tight for Remarkable. So this is the first time that I've kind of seen them having this kind of confusion thing happening, and that's why I'm kind of covering it so that if you are confused, that you know that it's like, hey, it's not just you, it's something is a little bit kind of wonky, and it depends on which device you are looking at release notes, and yeah, it's a bit weird. And 3.24 also added auto scroll with selections, and on 3.25 we again or still have convert to notebook on device, but this time it is possible to do it on the device itself because it's possible to use convert to notebook from Google Drive, OneDrive or Dropbox directly from your paper tablet. And that is a major advancement. However, as you can see, that and the shareable link, those are all Connect exclusive features. So you need to have the Connect subscription in order to have access to this functionality. In 3.25, they've also added new languages. So Remarkable Paper Tablet now offers English, German, French, and Spanish as system languages. Finally, we have some typing updates for the cursor thing, that you can move the cursor around when you're typing by dragging your finger. Ooh, that is exciting. It only took 2 years to get the basics of the typing cursor navigation and commands to be up and running on the platform. That's impressive. They've also improved the on-screen keyboard by adjusting the layout a bit to reduce typing errors. Then they got this really weird thing, which is coming soon. Coming soon stuff has no place in release notes. because release notes is documentation of what is, not what potentially will be, what you're hoping for, or what's soon to come. Release notes is a documentation of what is, not what might or will be. So that's my problem with this. That being said, what are they advertising here? Well, they're advertising that we're working on a new web app coming early this year in beta. Okay? The new web app will be another option for managing and interacting with your remarkable ecosystem alongside the apps for mobile and desktop. The web app will be home for features like convert to notebook and create a link, while also making it possible to innovate faster and introduce more new ways to move between your workspace and your free-form thinking space. I mean, it even reads like a freaking ad. Like, what the? And we have other improvements where setup steps have been updated for Wi-Fi connection and pairing. In addition to improving the responsiveness of page swipes, pinch zoom, pan, undo, and redo, we've made pen input along the side of the display more reliable. Oh, on the edges, on the margins of the display, okay? And you might also notice 3 new illustrations that appear on your sleep screen. The illustration changes every time the device is put to sleep. And while that is nice, I'm kind of curious, and I'm going to start with that one because I'm going to forget it because it's so marginal and irrelevant. But I'm going to see, can you change that behavior and can you choose just one that you want to see? No, of course not. It's remarkable being remarkable and not giving the users any choice whatsoever because they know best. All right, so tags. Let's create a new folder. And when I'm in the new folder, we have... okay, it's there. Good. The reason why I chuckled is that it looks, user interface of it just looks beta to me, or alpha. It's good that you can't miss it. I just think that visually it could have been a little bit nicer. And now you can enter my new tag. So I can create a new tag and I remain in the new folder, and new folder tag. Typing is precise and nice and responsive, and it automatically chooses the new tag for me once you have created it. So the logical workflow is there. Everything seems to be functioning correctly. New folder tag and new tag. This works as expected. And the user interface thing with the square thing, it's super minor thing. It doesn't really matter because the core thing of it is that it actually functions properly and there's zero friction in this workflow. So this is implemented well. All right, so now for the big one, converting to notebooks. So I'm just gonna go to my integrations here and go to Google Drive for mydeepguide. And let's try and find something that makes sense to kind of try and convert. And the way that you're going to be able to recognize your Google document is that they will not have an extension. See? So JPEG, CSV, or docx, all of these kind of things, will show extensions. But if you have a file that doesn't have an extension, then you will be sure that it is actually a Google Doc. So the way you do it is you can't really just tap it. And as they say in the description, you need to tap and hold. And at first you may think like, oh, where's the notebook option? Well, you have to go to import and then it will ask you, hey, how do you want to copy this document from Google Drive or OneDrive or Dropbox onto your tablet? And you can import it or copy it as a PDF, or you can convert it to a notebook. So if we do convert to notebook, it's going to successfully import it, and I can directly open my files. It should take me to where that document has been imported, and it doesn't, I think. I think that, as usual, it's going to import it into the root, not where we were, unless I missed it. Yeah. Oh. Why is this such a hard thing for Remarkable to understand, that to create a low friction working environment of file operations? This is ridiculous. because it's present now for a gazillion, it's going to be soon now 10 years that they've not updated this really ridiculous persistence that everything that's imported is going to be imported into the root. This is a point of friction that is completely unnecessary, because my workflow would be normally that I'm in my working folder where I want to import from my integration my thing. And not only that, but it actually goes, hey, want to go back to my files, where the logical thing is that it wants to return you to where you've imported your thing. But no, it doesn't. It returns you to where you were, which is correct. But what's not correct is, hey, where's my imported file? It's in home. So what you have to do is then press and hold, move, let's say move, and now go to notebooks. Remember where you were, here, there, and move there. This is where this document should have landed in the first place, because then you have zero friction workflow. The way it is now, I have no idea why, but they keep insisting on putting everything to the root and just creating an artificial and intentional mess of a device that is supposed to be your organizational tool. It's but okay, it has imported it now, so we can open it, and I can see that it has converted. So now it is a text, and you can start changing things. The thing that I find kind of difficult to understand is that it's still not possible. It's still difficult to select text. For me, it's very, very unintuitive. Whenever I go into this one, it just feels very, very strange. But I do have the typing thingy here. So potentially your workflow is that you've imported the Google Docs from your Google Drive or whatever it is that you want to be in, and we go to edit text, and I should be able to continue typing on my working document, which is great. So that is one portion of this kind of workflow and integration of a remarkable device into your existing workflow, one way at least, from Google Docs to here. It works really, really well. What I assume, or I hope, that they are working for is to now create the return, that you are able to send or convert the typed notebook to your Google Drive as a document. And let's see, do I have an option when sharing? Do I have an option to send it? No, we still have just send by email. We do have that added create a link thing, which I'm going to now create a link, and it's going to send to my email account. And you have the open QR code, which you can then scan and send. Can you send a QR code to someone? No, you can't. So that would have been another additional thing where you can just email the QR code to someone if you wanted to. So some things are in place, but there are points of friction where you kind of go like, almost. So this is fine. But, coming from books, for example, which absolutely has a humongous amount of issues, and I'm going to talk about that in a different video. I've been using that platform now for years for completely frictionless workflow where I can directly work on a Google Drive document and type in it, and I don't have to jump through hoops and install an integration, import into device, import into the root, move it where I want it to be, then find it, then continue using, then I type on it, only to not be able to return it back to the source. It seems like going backwards when going to a platform like this, when it attempts to do things like that. The power of Remarkable for me was the fact that it just didn't care originally, and it said, I am a digital paper tablet, and this is what I do. If you want to put stuff on me, you need to take stuff, put stuff on me, and then you need to take stuff and put stuff away from me. When you start doing the integration stuff, on one hand, that's really good because you're eliminating points of friction and you're making this thing integrate into your existing workflow in a nicer way. So that's great. But you're at the same time opening the door of expectation, user expectation of what this device and platform is supposed to do. And I think that that might be a little bit of a point. So while I think that this is definitely a great thing to have on the platform and it's super, super useful, I think that it's also a little bit confusing. Well, we have a vertical document that has scrolling. Let's do selection tool. So let's do a selection. That should be scrolling. Auto scroll with selections. Okay, I'm getting something wrong. Let me read the release notes again and see what do they say. Ability to automatically scroll up and down pages while moving around selections using the selection tool. Okay, so we're supposed to move the selections around the page. So let's make this thing and let's select it. And now if I move it, it should scroll. There we go. All right, so it scrolls as long as your pen input is in the header or footer area of the screen. The moment you move the pen away from the screen area, the command is blocked and completed. So if you want it to scroll, you have, let's see where the margins are. There, so this is the area where it's gonna scroll, and for up, roughly the same. So that is roughly the same type of thing. And it does have offset sensitivity. So closer you are to the edge, slower the scroll will be. Further away you are from the edge, or from the edge of the lower edge, further away you are from the margin, faster the scroll will be. All right, so that's how that works. That's useful, it works. The only problem is that if you had handwriting that's extending over one page, you still don't have the option of making a selection, doing the same thing, that when you get to this point and you pause while in select mode, that it starts kind of scrolling up and down to allow you to create a marquee selection that extends over the length of the page. So now that they have those margins here, that would be an easy way to introduce this functionality, that you basically just are in marquee selection tool, start drawing, you are not finished and you hold the pen for a certain amount of time. They do have this option of select below, but it's still not really that controlled. So yeah, I would have preferred the option of a more complete selection tool where it just uses the same operational logic, where you hold on the side and it just kind of starts extending. Yes, it is going to be more difficult because I assume that what they're doing is a screen relative type of selection tool, so you would need to transform this actively into a different type of coordinate system. It's relatively simple. It just involves quite a bit of math and just testing things so that it actually works properly. So already now they have tools in place for that functionality to be implemented. Whether or not they want to do it, or that's a different matter completely. So that's remarkable updates. Interesting to kind of see where they are adventuring into, and it's going to be genuinely interesting to see when their updated web app, or whatever it is that they are calling here, comes out, how it actually allows the integration of Remarkable into your existing workplace. I hope that you found the video interesting and or informative. If you did, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye.